Can we please take a moment for the fit, for the hat, for the scarf, for just everything right now feels so amazing and whimsical and cute and magical, and I'm absolutely obsessed. It's just these little dopamine hits, these little moments where you can just dress yourself up and have fun. Have fun with it. Anyways, hello, beautiful people. I hope that you guys have been having an amazing week or an amazing day or night, whatever it is for you so far. I've been having a pretty good day. I've been having a really good day, and a part of that is literally just this, is dressing head to toe in this little cute outfit, coming out here, having my microphone with my little teeny tiny stickers on them, just stickers in general. It's just like magic, just sprinkling magic wherever I go with all of these stickers. And I think that sometimes we lose sense of joy and what joy is and how we can cultivate joy and help to bring it forth in our lives. I think that a lot of the times we think that joy is something that can only come to us in fleeting moments, but we can like go out and hunt it down in a way. We can go out and hunt it down and bring it close to us and hold it close to our hearts and have these moments where we do little things that just bring us this little sprite of happiness and whimsy. I've really been trying to implement that into my day-to-day more and to help cultivate those moments of joy. I think that joy is a garden that we tend to, and sometimes we think of it as this thing that we have absolutely no control over whatsoever. But you can help to bring forth that fruition of joy in your garden. I'm going to put on my silly little hat. I'm going to get my microphone with my silly little stickers on it. And I'm going to put on my beautiful crochet flower scarf cardigan thing. I don't even know what to call it, but it's something, and it's a moment, it's a vibe, and I'm here for it and I'm living for it. And I think that right now I kind of had to make a conscious decision of I am going to begin cultivating joy in my life. And I think that there is an emphasis on the word cultivate specifically, because again, it is something that you have to tend to. It is a garden that you have to water, and it is a garden that you have to keep an eye out of weeds for, because there are so many things that can come into our lives that can try to distract us and take us away from this blissful state of being that we get these little glimmers of, and we get these little moments of inspiration of. And I think that when we begin to cultivate it and be conscious about it in our day and say to ourselves, I'm going to search for moments of joy today, it helps to rewire our brain and to get us out of worry, doubt, fear, the mundane, the mundanity of it all. I don't think that mundanity is a word. The boohoo, sluggish quality that I think sometimes overtakes us. And I think that I am a big example of the boohoo, sluggish quality club. I think that I really become monotonous. I'm really just like making up words left and right now. Monotonous, is that a word? I become very monotone sometimes, and I just get like really sluggish and down on myself. My mom, her biggest nickname for me growing up was Eeyore, which is kind of depressing if you think about it, right? Like Eeyore, because he's always depressed and sluggish and he doesn't have this spark to him. And I'm trying to bring that spark back. And it has been a while. She has been gone for a bit now. I think that she has been gone ever since, I would say, high school, probably ever since like freshman year, sophomore year of high school. She has been away doing her thing. And I kind of just became this little gray blob that it's just been like going about life. I didn't even realize that this chair swings. But I really had to say to myself, I want to begin choosing joy. Because this is the thing. We all have joy within us, and we all have that spark within us. It may just be very, very dim, and you may not know where she is for you at the moment. And sometimes she is just hiding, and she's doing her little thing, and she's waiting for you to make the conscious decision to bring her back into your life. I say she, I'm not entirely sure why, but for me, my joy is a she, but you can call them whatever it is that you wish. I think that for me, I just sometimes like to view it as like an actual tangible thing, creature, little mystical thing that is like running around in the ethers around me. I like to view it as this little creature that exists within me that I can help to breathe life back into, essentially, because she has been suffocated for way too long. And right now, I really just am having these moments of, I really want to bring that spark back into my life. And I literally, like, not that long ago, just started buying these silly little hats. And if you are new to the channel, or if you are someone who has seen my other prior videos, you can see when you go and you look at my channel, I do be wearing silly hats. That is just like something that I do be doing. And I love it. It just brings me joy, and it brings me this sense of whimsy and childlike wonder. Like, it's just so fun to have on these little hats, and like you can even see it in the way that I'm speaking and in the smile on my face, and just like my energy as a whole. Like, it helps to uplift my energy. And I walked into the kitchen with my partner, and of course he's like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" And I just said to him, I am so fucking cool. Like, I am so fucking cool. I love myself so much. Like, do you ever just look at me and think to yourself, damn, can't believe I bagged that? Like, and that's what's so beautiful about it, is that it is a me thing. It is an internal thing. If someone else were to see me, they would be like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, who the fuck does she think that she is? You want to embody your light. And sometimes when you embody your light, people will be confused by it, because that is not something that is regularly done in society. And even when I go out, like, okay, so I'm not going out wearing this hat specifically, but I do go out wearing some extravagant hats. I'm not sure if she will get a debut in public yet. I'm not sure if I have the balls to do that yet, but I do wear some pretty extravagant outfits when I go out into the public, into the wild of society. And I will say without a doubt, like, it is very rare that I see someone doing the same thing. And it is very rare that I see someone wearing something of extravagance. And I always thought, well, I think that that's just people's personal taste. Like, that has nothing to do with really creativity as a whole. Like, this is very niche. Like, okay, this is very, very niche. If you go look at my other videos, it's not as extravagant. I think that for today, we had to really go all out, because, I mean, just the vibes are immaculate. But I went back home to go visit my family back in June for my sister's wedding, and I had 2 cousins come up to me and say, I wish that I could dress like that, and I wish that I could go out and dress as extravagantly as you do. And when we were out at the bar, everybody was asking me to borrow my sparkles. I have sparkles that I always put on my eyelids and on my cheeks, and everybody had just like sparkles on their eyelids and their cheeks and their faces, and it was so beautiful and so wonderful and so whimsical and magical. And it was just girls being girls. Like, when we were little, we used to dress up, and it was so fun, and just like, it brought us into this way of expression that I think that sometimes we lose in society. And one of my cousins even said to me, like, I wear what is trending at the moment, and sometimes I wish that I could just go out and wear whatever it is that I want to wear. And I was like, what is stopping you? What is stopping you? And I will be clear, that's not for everybody, of course, but I do think that there are some people out there that do wish to bring a bit more extravagance into their life, and to bring a bit more whimsy and magical thinking into their life, but they're scared to, because then they will be seen as differently. And I will admit, I get some stares when I am out. Again, this is really crazy. Like, I don't usually wear like to this level, but even as I'm saying that, I'm like, I fucking should. Like, as I am sitting here preaching about being extravagant and like cultivating whimsy and joy and just doing things because they make you happy, like, I should wear this out. I don't know if I will or not, but I know that that could be a goal of mine. I'm slowly working my way up. I think that it's things like that we can begin doing, even if it is just around our house. We don't have to go out into public doing it because you obviously don't want to shock your nervous system. I remember the first time I wore a silly hat out. It was back when we were in New Mexico. We were there for about 2 months in the New Mexican desert, literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, the nearest grocery store was about an hour and a half away, but we had made our trek down to Santa Fe, and we went to a farmer's market that weekend, and it was my first debut of a silly hat. And you may see it in one of my videos. I actually was wearing it in my video talking about whimsy, and God forbid a girl be a little silly and full of whimsy video. And in that video, you can see the hat. It's kind of like this little gnome hat, brown gnome hat, full of glitter, full of sparkles. It's pretty extravagant. And I remember going out and just being so nervous and so like shook to my core with the amount of stares that were coming my way. And even my partner said afterwards, he was like, literally everybody was staring at you in there. And I was like, why would you tell me that? And I think that it's a mixture of stares, right? It's some people staring because they're like, wow, that's like a really cool hat. And then some people staring because they're like, wow, who the fuck does she think that she is? And I did get some compliments on the hat when I went out. But I think, you have to know where you're at with your nervous system when it comes to bringing this sense of extravagance into your life. So it could be something as simple as just putting on a silly little outfit, or that sweater that you love so much that is so colorful that you're just afraid to wear out into public, and just walking around wearing it that day and going and looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, yes, bitch, yes. Like, even when I look at myself in the little like viewfinder, I think is what it's called, I'm like, yes, like I love myself so much. I love this outfit. I love just like everything about it. And I came out here not knowing what I was going to film or talk about today. And it literally just took me looking in the viewfinder and seeing my outfit and being like, I know what I want to talk about. And it's literally just all stemming from these little moments that we begin to cultivate joy and this sense of aliveness. And we help to bring that spark and invite it back into our lives. Because again, it didn't go anywhere. It's been there waiting for you to claim it. But we have to invite it back consciously. And we also have to bring it hand in hand with us to these simple little moments throughout our day as well. I've recently been putting heavy cream into my morning tea, and that just brings me so much joy. Like, as I'm going and I'm pouring the heavy cream into my tea, and I'm seeing the cloud of milk that is coming up and blooming in the cup, and then the tea is so creamy and so sweet with the honey that I put in it, like, that is bringing me so much joy in those moments. And it is that joy of those little things as well too that can help bring a sense of baby steps to going and creating and cultivating that relationship with joy again, and that relationship with happiness again. And I think that sometimes, again, when we just get into the mundanity of it all, and I'm going to claim that word even though I don't think that it's a word, but when we get into the mundanity of it all, it really becomes something where we just go about making our morning tea or making our morning coffee, and then we go and we get to work, or we have to rush out the door, and we don't take moments of presence to really truly enjoy what we have in front of us in that moment, which is that beautiful cup of tea or that beautiful cup of coffee. Like, it can be something as simple as that if you are not ready to put on the crazy sweater or the crazy hat. And even with me, like, I am beginning to watch some like cartoons that I used to really enjoy when I was younger, like Steven Universe. I've been watching that. I just rewatched Adventure Time not that long ago. I began playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure on my Nintendo Switch, which kind of was the inspiration for the My Melody hat. If you guys are on Instagram or TikTok, you should go and follow Fran Makes Stuff. She's the one who made this hat. She is so talented. She makes all these crochet silly little hats, and literally majority of my collection of crochet hats are from Fran Makes Stuff. She also has a website, but you should check her out. In a way, you have to search for these moments because we're not used to bringing it forth. Of course, we go and we just make our tea or we make our cup of coffee, and we don't really think that much about it because we're spiraling in our head about the day ahead, or things that we need to get done that day, or goals that need to be met, or deadlines that have to be finished and done with. And I think that sometimes we forget to search for the moments that could bring us joy, because those moments do exist. Our world is chock full of those moments. It's just a matter of, are you open to receiving them, and are you in search of them? There's this thing called glimmer hunting, and it's essentially looking for glimmers in your day. I think that sometimes we have so many triggers throughout our day and things that make us stressed, make us go into fight or flight, make our nervous system unregulated, and we are just so overwhelmed by the triggers throughout the day that we don't have time to look to the side and say, oh, there's a glimmer. That's a hummingbird. That's the sun reflecting off the lake, or the sun shining in through the clouds and hitting and pulling in this little area in my house, or the moonlight pulling into my bedroom in the middle of the night. Like, there are so many moments that we overlook of joy and of this spark in the sense of aliveness. There is so much beauty. Even as I'm looking right now, there's a little bird that just flew onto a branch, and he's making some little teeny tiny sounds, and he's just a little creature that's existing. And I'm a little creature that's existing, and we're existing together. And that brings me joy. And it's learning how to seek out these moments and to seek out these glimmers in your day. I think that sometimes a lot of people say to have gratitude and to have presence. And I'm someone that is guilty of that. If you go and you look at all of my videos, I'm always about be present. I was just talking about presence literally like a few minutes ago. I've probably talked about it 3 or 4 times already in this video, but I think that glimmer hunting is a very easy way for us to begin inviting those practices into our life, because it is very easy to just be like, what is it that is beautiful today? That bird on a branch, that's beautiful. The dandelions that are in the field in front of me, that's beautiful. A hummingbird that just popped up, that's beautiful. The apples in the apple orchard in front of me, that is beautiful. Me going and pouring this heavy cream into my tea and seeing it bloom in the cup, that is beautiful. And I think that sometimes we just have to start inviting that into our life, inviting, seeing, and accepting these glimmers for what they are, which is beautiful. And that is what will help us to begin having that presence and to begin having that gratitude. Because when people say, be grateful, have presence, yes, of course. But I think that for some people, it can be hard for them to do that because it's not something that's in their repertoire. They don't know how to be grateful or to hold presence. It's something that you kind of have to learn how to do, because I can say, oh, I'm grateful for this moment, but do I truly feel it? Or am I just saying it because I want myself to believe that I'm grateful for this moment? And I remember that that's something that I struggled with when we first began traveling. I would say, oh, I'm so grateful for this moment. But then I would think to myself, am I only being grateful because I want to be a grateful person? Am I only being grateful because I want to bring forth abundance? And in order to bring forth abundance, I have to be grateful for what I have in the present. And our mind goes into this left side of the brain thinking and this masculine way of thinking of trying to make sense of being grateful and nitpicking what gratitude looks like and what presence looks like. But if we just say to ourselves, I'm just going to begin acknowledging the beautiful things in my day, and I'm going to see those as beautiful little glimmers in my day, that is us beginning to open and expand ourselves to be able to invite that energy into our lives. And in me putting on this silly little hat and looking in the viewfinder, I'm like, you're so fucking beautiful, bitch. You're so beautiful. Your hat is so beautiful. You are so silly and funny and whimsical and magical, and you're so cool. And guess what? There will be some people who see this video and they're like, what the fuck is this bitch doing? And what the fuck is she wearing? Who the fuck does she think that she is? And if that is you, I invite you, I implore you to explore those thoughts. And why are you feeling that way over someone that is literally just joyful? And may I suggest that maybe it's because that's a part within yourself that you wish you could have. And that's a part within yourself that you wish you could explore, because it's something that you are ignoring within yourself. And I think that a lot of the times we are afraid to be different and to stand out, because people will view us and they will judge us. But judging is literally just reflecting in people things within themselves. And guess what? It might not be a silly hat for you and a crochet scarf for you. It may not be having these little stickers that you place everywhere. It is not the same for everybody, and joy is not the same for everybody. It's just you looking at me and exploring for yourself what would bring joy forth for me and what would bring whimsy forth for me. And I think that in me coming out here, I'm laying myself bare and doing that. And there are nerves because I know that there will be people that see me wearing this and just judge me for it and think that I am an annoying ass bitch. And you know what? Sometimes we just have to be that annoying ass bitch for someone. And sometimes we just have to be that person that is being perceived, because that's all it is at the end of the day. It is just perception, and it has nothing to do with who you actually are. And if something brings you joy, go for it. If something brings you joy, there is nothing that should be able to stop you from going and exploring what that looks like, what that feels like, what that implores for you. That is literally the only excuse that you need as a human being. Another thing that I've been doing recently, I've really been into peaches, like fresh, yummy, juicy, ripe peaches. Like it needs to be like half juice when I bite into it, essentially. And when you do that, it's really messy. Like the juice gets all over you. And I've been going and eating my peaches in the shower or in the bath. And I've been letting the juices run down my body. And I've been just like allowing myself to be messy as I eat a beautiful peach. And that has been a glimmer for me. And that has been a highlight for me in my day, is knowing that I get to go take a cozy shower with the steam clouding around me. And I get to eat a yummy ripe peach that is just like so juicy and so overflowing. And it's a little thing that I am doing, and it's bringing me happiness and it's bringing me joy. And I think that a lot of the times we live lives and we live routines where we feel suffocated because it is, again, the mundane. It's waking up, it's having to meet your deadlines, it's having to go to work, it's having to deal with your annoying ass boss, it's having to deal with being an adult in the world. Being a human girl in a human world is a very tiring thing. And I think that we have to continue, and not just continue, but begin for a lot of people cultivating. Because I really want to bring it back to the garden, okay? It really is a garden that you have within you. And when you go and you begin to notice these beautiful moments and notice these glimmers and invite joy into your life, you are watering that garden. And it may be hard when you first start. And I want you to picture it as a little garden of joy. And you can call it whatever you want, okay? You can call it Garden of Joy. You can call it the Joyful Garden. You can call it Glimmer of Hope Garden. I don't care, whatever it is that you want to call it. You have to cultivate that garden, and you have to tend to that garden, and you have to make the conscious decision to invite it into your life and to see it come to fruition. Because joy is something that we have lost, and happiness is something that we have lost. And I think that sometimes we see it in other people and we think to ourselves, I could never have that. I could never get there. But everybody has to start somewhere. And you just have to start glimmer hunting. Start with glimmer hunting. Wake up and say, I'm going to notice 5 beautiful things today. And it may not bring that bloom of joy that comes forth in your heart space, in your chest, in your tummy, wherever have you. It may not be a yummy, scrumptious moment of, oh my God, I'm so joyful because I just saw a hummingbird fly by me. It may just be you noticing it and saying, that was beautiful. And I promise you, over time, that joy will come forth because, again, you are making a conscious decision to search for it, and you are making a conscious decision to invite it into your life. And there is also just joy in being and in becoming and in existing as a human, experiencing the human experience. And I think taking those conscious moments to just be like, I'm alive right now. And take a breath of air. Like that in and of itself is such an expansion of consciousness because people do not take the time to think about that. And people do not take the time to think about just the marvel of existing. Yes, we can go and we can cultivate these moments and we can put on these silly little hats and we can think about the honey that we are pouring into our tea or eat our yummy ripe peach in the shower. But what you are doing in all of those moments is experiencing and is existing and is reveling in the human senses and being able to experience the human senses as a whole. And I think when you begin to take that and invite that into your day, it truly can change how you view the world as a whole and how you view yourself as a whole too. There was this quote that I just found serendipitously. I literally just like can't pronounce words today. I'm making up words today, and that's okay. But I just found it and I want to share it with you. And this is how it goes. The joy of being is about finding happiness and contentment simply in existing. Life is made up of present moments, and when you are always in a constant pursuit for more, rather than appreciating the present as it is, are you truly living life, or are you just living in your head? Mic drop moment right there. While it is great to have ambitious goals and desires to create a better life for yourself, always remember to find joy and gratitude in the little things and simple moments. Be thankful for each breath you take. Be excited for every sunrise you see, and allow yourself to just be, because there is joy in simply existing. Allow yourself to just be, and to become and to experience. This is just me riffing now and just adding things onto it. But I really, truly think that you need to revel in those words. And I am learning to revel in those words and in that truth, because it is such a truth. When we are constantly in pursuit of something in the future, we forget about the truth of joy that exists in the present and in being and in existing and in becoming. And I know that I keep repeating those things, but I just really hope for it to hit even deeper each time that I say it, because we really do have to allow this space to cultivate joy, because I want you to be joyous. I want to be joyous. And in me coming out here, hopefully I can give you a little kernel of wisdom to help invite that into your life. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it did give you a little kernel of wisdom. And I hope that I held your hand as you began planting the seeds of your joy garden, your joyous, beautiful, abundant, overflowing garden that is going to come from just this simple, conscious step of wanting to invite it into your life. And leave a comment below if you think that this helped, if you have anything that you want to add. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye guys. There's a bee. I can hear her, but I don't know where she is, and I'm not trying to get stung today.